Do you want to know the real sign of self love? There are many things that can illustrate it: our relationships, how we take care of our bodies, our boundaries. Yes, there is a whole list. And if you ask different people, they'll say, "This is how I love myself. This is how I take care of myself." For me, it's simple. And really, it can be defined by this one thing, which is defining success on my terms. I've recorded episodes around this before, specifically talking about an image driven versus a purpose driven life, meaning focusing on what fulfills you versus what looks good to other people. And really, in the end, isn't that success creating a life that feels good to you versus a life that looks good to other people? Because if there's anything I know, it's that society doesn't measure success in the same way that our spirit and our intuition does. It just doesn't. It's all about accomplishments, being number one, money, status, hot parties, being at the right events. Right? We know this, and it's a little bit different for everyone based on where you live, based on your cultural conditioning, based on what your society and your community values. For example, I know that traditionally, growing up in England, creative work is less valuable than work in science, engineering, mathematics, etc., etc. Creative work is nice, but it's kind of like more of a hobby. It's something that's reserved for people who are maybe quite sensitive and they have this very artistic side. Right? Creative work might not be valued. Working in certain sectors might not be valued. But anything that involves fame, money, power, influence, that's valued. So we have to be careful, my friends, because the influences will never stop coming from outside of us. Never, ever. Maybe it's from our family, even. Maybe it's from our friends. Maybe it's from our coworkers. Maybe it's from social media. Whatever the source, it is critical to remember to come on home back to yourself, knowing that you are only living in a place of self love if you are living a self directed life. Meaning, you make decisions, you place your energy, your time, your money, your resources into what matters for you, what it is that you care about. As a coach, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to over the years who've spent money on things that they don't care about: skiing trips, certain cars, even jewelry or designer purchases to fit in, to be like their friends. And I ask, oh, what does this bring you? What emotion does this bring you? And instead of even pleasure or joy or happiness or a sense of, marveling at something that someone might even own, it's more of just a sense of relief. And then the next, okay, what do I have to get next? How do I fit in next? What else is required of me? My friends, what if the only real mark of self love is living a life aligned with what your heart wants, where it wants to be, who it wants to be with, what it wants to do each day, the type of work it wants to fulfill in this world? I know when I left tech a decade ago, everyone thought I was crazy. They're like, wow, you're leaving a 500K per year job to be a life coach? Are you okay? And I can tell you now, a decade later, it was one of the very best decisions I've ever made. It wasn't something that was valued or encouraged, apart from the very few people close to me who know me and love me. And here we are as a result of that decision. My friends, where today can you even make a small decision? It doesn't have to be something life changing and bold, but even making a small decision that's in alignment with what it is your heart says yes to. Maybe it's even where you eat lunch, or someone that you want to reach out to, or maybe it's making a decision to say no to something that's very much part of your routine because it just doesn't fit anymore. Society's definition of success changes based on which country you're in, whatever it is your community at that time tend to value. But what's inside of you is eternal and unmoving. And my friends, your desires are safe guidance. They're saying, come this way. Are you loving yourself enough to listen? Until tomorrow, my friends, so much love and ease. Hey friend, are you feeling stuck in any area of your life right now? I've got you. With over a decade in coaching and 1,000 self-help books under my belt, I've refined 6 journal prompts that I'm giving to you for free that'll help you coach yourself to a better life in just 6 days. These are amazing if you feel stuck, if you ever battle self-doubt, if you feel restless, if you find goal setting challenging. These prompts are gems in a sea of generic advice. Click the link in the show notes for your free access.